It's always good to see things from another person's point of view. So this morning, I invite us to take a look at the gospel message through Thomas's point of view. For 3 years, Thomas had been a disciple of an extraordinary man. The things that Jesus said were absolutely unlike anything anyone had ever said. His words were spoken with power, conviction, authority. Jesus spoke like he believed what he was saying. The things he did were simply unbelievable. Thomas saw Jesus walk on water, feed 5,000 men and their families with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. He saw Jesus make the blind see. 3 times Jesus brought dead people back to life. Thomas's life with the Lord consisted of one life-shattering experience after another. Thomas and the other disciples, every night before they went to bed, had to simply look at each other and say, "I wonder what he's going to do tomorrow." Then everything quickly came crashing down. One of the apostles betrayed Jesus. Jesus is arrested, beaten, sentenced to die, and the man who Thomas thought was untouchable is crucified, and his whole world came crumbling down. 3 years, totally down the drain, and Thomas may have thought he might be next, as they knew he was one of his disciples. Then 3 days after Jesus' crucifixion, after his burial, some of the other disciples tell Thomas that Jesus is alive. Thomas may have thought, "Alive? Are you kidding me? You got to be kidding me. Dead people don't come back to life, especially men who've been beaten and crucified. Perhaps the best explanation is you simply saw somebody who looked like Jesus." Thomas said, "I'm going to need some proof, like putting my finger in the hole in his hand or the opening the lance made in his side. Then I will believe." A week later, literally out of nowhere, Jesus is standing in front of Thomas, and he's not just standing in front of Thomas, he's speaking directly to Thomas, saying, "Take your finger and put it right here where the nail was in my hand, and put your hand in my side where the lance ripped open my heart." Jesus said, "See, Thomas, touch, Thomas, believe, Thomas." Is it possible to even describe how Thomas's life must have changed as a result of this? Seeing someone you've lived with for 3 years, who's your teacher, your friend, risen from the dead, and now standing before your very own eyes? Because of Jesus' resurrection, Thomas comes to understand that when you die, death doesn't have the last word. Thomas realized Jesus is stronger than death, and the one thing that everybody is afraid of simply is not to be feared. Thomas realizes the most important thing is to tell people about this. To tell people of Jesus, who out of his indescribable love for us became one of us, died on the cross for us, and rose from the dead. To tell people of Jesus, who offers eternal life and mercy to all of us, regardless of what we've done in the past. We are reminded of this mercy today as we celebrate Divine Mercy Sunday, which reminds us that the greater the misery of our soul, the greater our soul's right to Jesus' infinite amount of mercy. There's nothing we've done that Jesus cannot forgive. That Sunday after Easter changed everything for Thomas. His work, his family, his friends, his daily life, his decision-making, everything took on a new meaning because of Jesus' resurrection from the dead. Is that the case with us? Has the historical reality of Jesus' resurrection from the dead really changed everything for us? What could be more important in life than making a response to what Jesus has done for us? Now, some of us may be thinking, Thomas saw Jesus, he heard Jesus, and touched him. And he did. And so do we. Right here in this Mass and every Mass. In every sacrament, because in the sacraments we see Jesus, we hear Jesus, we hear him, we encounter him. The sacraments are the continuation of the very things that we read about in the Gospels that Jesus did with people who encountered him personally. He speaks to us in his word. He forgives us in confession. He gives himself to us in the Eucharist. How much more personal can he get than to give us his body, blood, soul, and divinity to experience in every Mass, just like Thomas, in that upper room on that Sunday after Easter? We become witnesses of the resurrection of Jesus from the dead. And after every Mass, we are sent out into the world, which is longing for purpose and meaning, a longing that can be satisfied by knowing and loving Jesus. We are sent out to tell others through our works and our actions and our words of the one that we meet here, of the one who's risen from the dead, of the one who is rich in mercy and love. The question being posed to us this morning is simply, do we believe? Do we believe in God, his power, his love for us, and in his mercy? To believe in God isn't merely to agree intellectually. To believe in God means to have our whole lives oriented around him. To believe in Jesus means to rely entirely on him. To believe in Jesus means for us to live our lives regardless of the trials that we experience, with unshakable confidence in him, for whom nothing is impossible. That's belief. The resurrection of Jesus turned Thomas's life upside down. See things from Thomas's point of view, and the resurrection of Jesus will change our lives forever.